right, guys, welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. You're tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. Your host, as always, on a Saturday, Ryan Coleman, owner, founder of Hometown Realty. Glad to be with you in the studios on this cold, chilly day. So we have a good show for you today. Before I start, I always have some congrats. I want to congrats North Chatham Road on their closing that's coming up. Congrats to them. I know we have a long list. Forest View Circle just went under contract and went closing, so congrats to them. Our friends on Dewdrop, they closed right at the end of the year. I forgot to tell them, announced them last show, so they closed in pretty much record time. And I'm sure I'm missing some more, but congrats to them. Getting those done towards the end of the year and carrying over to the first part of the year is always a good thing. April couldn't be in today. She's busy and sends all the love for everybody. I think you're going to find it's a good show. So Knoxville area, if you're relocating to the area, it's East Tennessee. It's home, man. It's home. It's a great opportunity to raise a family. Investment properties is so much to offer. And as you can see in the real estate market, East Tennessee, there was an article that just came out that is one of the hottest spots into moving with all this COVID madness going on. So this is a popular place. It's always been a popular place. I don't think it's just taken a while to catch on. We're a small, mid-sized town, $1 million under, and anything under $1 million, it's kind of a little bit smaller. So we're not super big city, but we have enough people that really make up that. And there's so many different areas. We've got our lakes. You can go down to Loudon. You can, you want some farmland, you can go out towards Loudon and, but Anderson County maybe, going up to Granger County. You want some acreage and pasture. And then you go to our favorite part of the area that has a lot of population. That's Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. And that's just has always, year after year, has had a lot of tourists. Well, the great opportunity with that is, and what brings people in that area and what is a booming industry is in investment cabins or your cabins or rentals. And it was encouraging to see, but an article came out just the other day of the top 5 investment or cabin areas. Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge ranges in the top 5. So that's why on a Saturday or a Friday, you go up to Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg and you see all the traffic. So why is it booming? Well, we're going to talk about one of the biggest reasons real estate has been booming. And you've seen we do a lot in the Sevierville market and Pigeon Forge as well, as long as Knoxville. You're seeing that market increase dramatically over the last 2 years. And so we figured, okay, what's a good topic? What's a good show that we could talk about today that would relate in kind of our backyard? Well, let's talk about what you need to know when buying your investment property, specifically your rental cabin. So rental cabins are hot. I've got some stories from some people that we've helped, give you some examples. But investment properties now, as a seller, if you're ever thinking about getting out of that business, or maybe you want to trade up to a larger unit that's a higher cash flow, now is the time. Let me tell you about a couple people that we helped not only sell their cabin to trade up to something else, or some of my clients, they just, they're getting up in age, they're out of state, they're managing it, and it's just too much to handle. And so they decided to sell. Well, now is the time to sell that cabin and really get extraordinary values. Let me tell you some of these just kind of highlights of people that we helped. We have one of our owners on Eagletown. I can't tell you how many offers we had. I think we had about 21 offers, $75,000 over list price. Dewdrop, right outside of Gatlinburg, outside of Cosby, cute little cabin, sold quickly, full price. Cristobal Way out there in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. Guess what? First day, multiple offers above list price. Even our luxury properties had a property on Walnut Cove, in excess of about 900,000 luxury cabins, and that went well. And of course, we have stuff that's in that 350 to 400,000. You can't even keep it on the market. Trout Way, we sold in just record time. Another one, Leatherwood, we got about 25,000 or so. Hasn't closed yet over list price. So if you guys are looking for cabins and you're looking for maybe tax deferred money, we do 1031s. You can roll your money into a like-kind property, roll it from another, maybe say a single family or another investment. Cabins are definitely an opportunity and a way to go. Go to my website, homesaroundknoxville.com. Go to our Sevierville and Gatlinburg page. shows all the 80, we have 80 active listings now, I think, right, Nick, that are on the market. You can choose from those. We can help you with any of those. And of course, we have a lot of pocket listings that are coming on the market that we're planning this week. We have 4 or 5 people that we're meeting. They're possibly putting on the market. So check with us. If you're thinking about buying, if you're thinking about selling, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about that and how we can help you with your cabin. Let's talk about how all cabins are not created equal. What do you mean, Ryan? What's the big picture in buying a cabin? Well, the bigger picture in real estate, as you know, real estate's always been what? Location, location, location. But with cabins, it's a totally different animal. There's a bigger picture. So keep in mind, when you're buying a cabin, one or two things. The first thing you want to think about is, how much personal use are you going to use? Or is this strictly a rental? Now, keep in mind, when you're buying up in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, one of the most important things that you want to do is what? Verify the square footage and what? Get your rental rolls. See what it's producing. Now, we bought investment property. We just bought a condo in Florida last year, in Destin. And the challenge with that is there's a lot of personal use. So it's important when you're evaluating other properties and rentals that you want to make sure that you're taking the personal use. So in Florida, there's a lot of personal use that people want to go to the beach and things like that. So if you have a property or a cabin that's 3 or 4 months personal use, and that owner is renting it out some of the time, keep in mind that that may skew the numbers, and you may be 90% rental, may take 1 or 2 weeks a year. And so the income is going to be totally different. So keep in mind with that. Number 2, we go to location. We know Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville is a great opportunity. Now, one of the biggest challenges that we're going to find now as a great time to sell, but on the buying market, it seems extremely hard. Nothing different than our single family or our resale properties that we deal with. The biggest thing you're going to find in this market is not only finding a property, but securing it. Because it seems like the good ones are going quickly, multiple offers. And so it's number 1 is finding it. Number 2 is securing it. And then number 3, you need a great agent. That's why we're doing the show. You need a great agent, not only to put an offer in, but put an offer in to look at the numbers to make sure that you don't overpay, but put you in a position to secure the property and make sure your offer has everything that the seller is going to be looking for. And that's key. Now, keep in mind when you're buying a cabin, there's some things to think about. Most of the cabins are in the woods, and so there may be a little water issue, maybe a little damp, maybe near trees, perfect for that seclusion. But cabins as a whole do not like water. They can be a maintenance headache. So what are you going to do about that? One of the biggest things you want to do with cabins is make sure that they're stained, they're kept up to date. One of the biggest things that we can deal with cabins, as you know, anything we do with wood, we have termite issues. So we have termites. And one of the biggest thing I think we see is our carpenter bees. They can destroy your home. So it's important when you buy a cabin to include maintenance that's going to cover for termites, it's going to cover for carpenter bees, and make sure you budget that into your numbers. Now, understand on the rental market as a whole, when you buy a cabin, if it's your investment property or if you're going to live there, that's different than the rental market. So in the investment insurance business, that's a whole different animal. So if you're calling Allstate or State Farm or one of your local coverages for insurance, guess what? Don't be surprised that they don't write your vacation rental policy. A lot of liability there. Liability if somebody falls, somebody gets hurt. What happens if all of a sudden there's a water leak, the tenant doesn't tell anybody, goes from the second floor down to the main level. That's why the insurances are so high. And having a remote property can be a great, it could be a draw from a lot of these banks and things like that. So make sure you have the appropriate insurance coverages. Vandalism, we've seen it. We just had one of our cabins, one of our clients. It doesn't sound like much. They say no dogs, and guess what happens? They bring in dogs. And we were under contract, and before you know it, the dogs are chewing up their beautiful wood blinds. And not only do they chew up their beautiful wood blinds, but they were scratching on the door and a couple other things. Well, we already went under contract. And then we're doing our final inspection, and then we're scrambling. And my owner was like, Ryan, what are we going to do? And so we had to scramble last minute, get it fixed, order blinds during everything that was going on. And so bottom line, those can be issues that you have to budget for. And of course, when you're selling your property and it's on the market, these are another things that you want to factor in. So we're coming on a break. We're going to talk more about investment cabins, why that could be a good buy for you, and what you need to know if you're planning to buy an investment cabin here in 2021. Stay with us, and we'll see you here right after the break. Hey, Hendon, do you get nervous on 4th and goal?
No, it's important to trust your team. Do you get nervous when the real estate market changes?
No, just like you, I trust my team. It's experience and a proven game plan that will always win.
I'm going to hand off anyone buying or selling a home to the experts.
And we all know on Saturdays who's throwing touchdowns and neither.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, guys, Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty. Thanks for staying with us after the break. We were talking about little investment cabins, what you need to know, what you don't need to do, and is it a good buy for 2021? Again, before we kind of get it back into the show, if you guys are tuning in for the first time, again, my name's Ryan Coleman, owner, founder of Hometown Realty, one of the top brokers in the area. And we love doing these shows, talk to my people, man. Like to get out here and get away from the crazy world and love talking real estate. So if you're ever around thinking about buying or selling, we'd love to help you. I've got a great team here that works with us. And if you're thinking about selling your property, I've got some of the best marketing experts in the country. I really believe that. And we really take pride in what we do. So if you ever need us, it's an easy number, 693-SOLD. Look me up on the web. It's ryancoleman.org. Our company site, it's an easy address. We were talking about that in the cabins. Nick was like, reminder. So if you're looking for cabins and kind of segue into the show, go to homesaroundknoxville.com. That's our company site. And if you're looking for investments, you can sign up there and we can keep you up to date for the up-to-date new cabins. Anything that's new in this market, when they go quickly, you got to be there. I know I had a repeat customer that we just wrote 2 offers. Well, we're about to write 2 offers, and then we get the call and they've got 12 offers or 10 offers. So we're dealing with that. We can do that. I think there's going to be opportunity as we approach the middle of the year. I think you're going to see some adjustments. But, it's a competitive market. And so that's why we have to work together as a team. An agent in this marketplace, and I kind of get on my soapbox, an agent in this marketplace is key. You need somebody that's working for you. In this market, to go from agent to agent or go to Zillow or try to do it all yourself, there's no I in team. I know I can't do what I do here by myself. Trust me, me and April have tried it, and it takes a great team to work together. And if you're finding a cabin or if you're getting into a cabin for the first time, or you're thinking about maybe retiring to great East Tennessee, love the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Smoky Mountains. So many people come here and they say, you know what? They come here once, twice, and they're hooked. And they say, I'm relocating. I'm getting away from the big city, and I want to take it easy. I want to fish. I want to hunt. I want to be able to get downtown. I can hop on the interstate, get down to Atlanta or wherever I need to go, see family. And guess what? I'm not paying any state income tax. And you can see why Tennessee is one of the top retiring states in the U.S. A lot to offer here in our backyard. So let's get back into the show. That's my little promo there. And do your homework. Do your homework on your cabins. Why is that important? Our investment cabins, one of the biggest things you would imagine would be views. You want to have a view. Obviously, the properties with the better view or seclusion, they're going to sell higher. They're going to have higher rents. Do your homework. If you're asking for a rental breakdown, let's do that. Let's go rental breakdown. Let's look at 2 years. You can look at 2 years of rental breakdown. Exclude, as I said in the first part, owner use. Now, Do you get that from a rental management? So if you know it's from a rental management, a good opportunity and a good question to say, okay, what is their split? Okay, what's the property management split? I don't do property management in East Tennessee. Don't do a whole lot of property management except ours. And that opportunity can be extremely costly. So if you guys have ever, and I experienced this in my cabin as well, not my cabin, so my condo, my condo as well, vacation rentals in that market, especially if you're out of state, can be extremely, extremely high. They can run as high as 35 to 40% of your rental, not counting extra add-ons that they may charge. So one of the things that you want to do is make sure that you know your split. Number two, I think we probably say number two, but before the money, don't go into a cabin and not know that you have an opportunity that if you do decide to change property management, number one, that you can change property management. Some HOA restrictions say that you have to use that company. I'm not saying that's a no-go, but know what you're getting into. If that's the case, there has to be a lot of value. There has to be a lot of value, amenities, and a long track record of them showing that those rents are producing higher than normal for the marketplace. So make sure you do that. HOA guidelines tell you what you can and can't do. Be very, very careful. Make sure that you're within certain areas in Sevierville, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. Guess what? Some areas you can't use as an investment. Some areas the county actually restricts you from using the property as investment. Now, in your purchasing your cabin, understand one of the things in our market, at least in our area, furniture as a norm usually goes. But this is real estate. So keep in mind, furniture doesn't go with every property. So if our property is a owner occupant, okay, it's their personal residence, more than likely you're not going to get their furniture. All right. Crystal Ball Way just happened to be one we just sold, right, Nick? And she left most all of her furniture, but there were some personal items, and it was not an investment property. Your cabin seemed to do that. Very important tip of the day. So whether you use us or not, make sure you put your personal property. If you do buy personal property or include it in the deal, put it on a bill of sale. Why do you want it on a bill of sale? Because the lender, if you write it up wrong, will mess up your whole deal. They'll take $20,000 for personal property. They'll take it off the sales price or the appraised price. And before you know it, you get to closing, whole deal blows up, or you have all kind of issues where you got to bring in another $20,000 for personal property. Tip of the day. So make sure we put it on a bill of sale. What else? What else? Well, that's a good question. Well, if you're in Gatlinburg and you're overlooking the Smoky Mountains, get there on Friday. What's better than a long week? Get to your investment cabin, maybe a pop of beer, have a glass of wine, and I'm going to get in my what? My hot tub, man. You got to have your hot tub. If you don't have a hot tub, you need to get one, and it's an absolute must if you're going to rent it. So if they have a hot tub, do your homework, negotiate that to keep it. There are real pain sellers to move and can be cumbersome, to say the least. So negotiate to get your hot tub included in the sale. Then when you do your inspection, make sure you're checking the hot tub. Because if the hot tub is real old, real ancient, all you're going to do is you're going to purchase a hot tub that you're going to have to get rid of. And that's going to be a real pain, especially if you live out of state, right? So if you live out of state, not only have you bought a new cabin, but now you're going to have to try to find somebody with everything going on in the marketplace, right, to get rid of a hot tub. And they got to drain it, and it could be up a steep cliff. That can be costly. So let's make sure we address that on the front end. What else? What else? Let's say if you have an opportunity to rent the property yourself, what do you need to do? What challenges? I want you to know this, and we own an investment property that we purchased last year, and what you're doing, time is your biggest commodity, you know? So when you purchase cabins or investment properties they're called daily rentals, weekly rentals, know that they are a lot of work versus our long-term rentals. We own properties that are leases and year leases, and they're pretty much turn and go. There's some maintenance, but they're set for 12 months. Unlike investment properties that are weekly, there's a lot that goes involved. You need to have a cleaning crew. If you're out of state and you're going to manage VRBO, you've got to have a solid cleaner. I would expect that you have 2 cleaners, because you know what happens. Something happens. Somebody gets sick. They don't show up. You've got guests arriving the next checkout, and everything hits the fan, right? So you want to have multiple options that you can count on. You want to check with other tenants or other landlords, I guess property owners, what you would say, property owners in that area that manage them. VRBO, Airbnb, Flipkey, some different sites that you can use if you're thinking about renting the property yourself. Good pictures, virtual tours, walkthrough, have a description of the property. Give as much information. People now, especially on vacation rentals, they're going to go online. 99% are going to go online and make a decision. So if your pictures don't paint a perfect picture, hire a professional photographer. Have a custom website. Maybe make your own website for your vacation rental. It's a great option. Link them to that so that there's no ads, no competition. You can go to Wix or some of these GoDaddy websites, create them fairly easy so you can bring those customers, maybe offer a discount if they book directly through your site, saving you money, getting you repeat customers. Keep in mind, any expenses that you're going to have your depreciation and a lot of things that's a write-off. Property management is one of the biggest things that you're going to have to make a decision on whether you go forward. As we wrap this show up, be smart, take your time. Even though the market's hot, go with your gut. If it doesn't feel good, take some time, pray about it. And ultimately, if you buy right, have a good agent helping you. What's the worst case? We turn around and sell it. So smart decisions. Hope you enjoyed our cabin show. Appreciate you staying with us every week. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have these shows streaming. And until next weekend, we'll see you right here on Real Estate with Ryan.